All right, y'all. Good evening. This is High Priestess Jamila. Happy witching hour to y'all. Thank you for the thumbs up and thank you for the thumbs down too. Appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna let you go ahead and act out on the thumbs down button, I guess, tonight. So, boy, it never ceases to amaze me. People in this world, a lot of times when we have Narc parents or Narc family members specifically with the parent, you notice exploitation comes along with that. A lot of children of narcs often complain about being exploited in some kind of way. Narc parents, they have an inherent, uh, uh, when they want to make the child look sick, or either they want to make the child look crazy, or they want to basically use the child to get attention or to say, put the attention onto me. I am the better person. And it's just an entire trip. And so I wanted to talk about that because the people that were exploiting the whole narcissistic parent dynamic, these are some of the lowest people ever. These are the type of people that you will find in a dark alley looking for a parent that don't give a damn about their kids so that they could exploit them, use them in some kind of way. It's a huge problem. Y'all should look this up. And so what I want to talk about is the covert narcs that try to guilt you after your narc parent passes away. And I want to talk about this. And then also to let you guys know that there is, you know what? I told y'all that they ready to curse you. They ready to do stuff to you and to harass you and to mess with you, after all of the what could be milestones or major events. And a lot of people end up being hexed or vexed by covert narcs, especially after a narc parent passes away. Um, so don't let them do that to you. Don't, first of all, especially if you were no contact with your narc parent, you had no control over that. There was nothing that you could have done to save them because the enablers that took advantage of that situation. Now, I'm going to go kind of deep with this one because a lot of y'all may have had pretty decent relationships with a parent that may have turned into a narc. Some of y'all grew up in a narcissistic environment. And so I think that for a lot of you, the root of that is political, societal. Oh, when I had you, I was with your father and he was, a demon. And so I've got to separate myself from these awful children that I've given birth to. And now I just don't want them. So a lot of y'all may have fit in that category to where your mother or your father felt like you were an embarrassment to them. Like, especially, let me give y'all an example. Especially if you're a high school dropout like I am. I have a GED, of course, but there were several reasons why I dropped out of high school. All of them were not my fault. So a narc parent, they never forgive you for that because, other people will kind of play with them. No matter how good you're doing in life, if you dropped out of high school or you didn't finish college, you were less than valuable. So there's some people that are, I don't want to talk about your parents, but they can be sort of weak minded enough to go along with that. Now, we all know are ride or die parents. You know, there's parents out there that, you know, they love their kids no matter what. They gonna stick by them, and if you say anything to them, they been gonna bit your hand off. So some of y'all had fair weather parents. They were just kind of like, oh, if it fit the narrative at the time, but once you no longer fit into their narrative or their, you know, perfect, because narcissists, the funny thing about them is that they don't actually experience real happiness. They only know how to pretend to be happy. And so many of us that came out of a situation like that, we found happiness. We found our north. And so you've got all of these other players in this game. And see, that's why I said sometimes and of course, you know, when a Narc parent passes away, they're not even going to acknowledge the children that they had, not really. So it's even more important for you to get yourself to a point where you are secure, because that's the whole point of them being narcissistic, is to make you dependent on them for the rest of your life, possibly. And while we all know that that's a very unrealistic expectation, especially people that have their own mind, they have their own drive about things, and y'all know how it is to be an individual. See, the covert narcs and the agents, they don't understand how to think for themselves, so that's why they're trying to guilt you. That's why they're attacking you. Even though you may be grieving, they're still going to attack you, because guilt is something that narcs use a lot. Guilting you about things that you don't even have control over. First of all, it is not your fault. None of it is. It may not, I mean, I personally feel that narcissistic parents, because narc parents, here's the interesting thing about them. Nobody actually really knows them like their children knows them. So a narcissistic parent can treat everybody else, and people don't know how they really are, but then when it comes to their own seed, they can hate them. And they've got many, many different reasons for either hating you or, you know, and of course, there's a lot of people that want to exploit that. You know, I believe that narcissistic parents are factually under demonic possession. Um, there are people in this world that, in particular, child sex traffickers and pimps. Okay, you know, some man or woman that's looking for a woman or a man with low self-esteem. So you might be the perfect specimen for somebody that's looking for that. And so that's where, if you may have grew up in an environment where you may not have been treated very well, especially by your parents, you know, when you go out there in the world, people are going to assume that you're going to accept that and fall into line. If you don't become their pushover or their leper or their sacrifice, then they get very, very upset. Narcissistic people don't really handle death like a normal person. Instead, they sort of see it as more of an opportunity to harm you even more. It's bad enough. That's why I said it's bad enough that you went through what you went through. Then no, then the covert narcs, they want to come and try to guilt you and blame you for the parent's death, essentially, which it's not your fault. Everybody, first of all, your narcissistic parents, they were grown people. They were grown. They were grown and old enough to make their own decisions. So that's something made up. You know, when somebody passes away, they go through a lot, you know, in the etheric realm. They go through a lot. Sometimes they go through a soul cleansing. And it's something that they find out. But you got the covert narcs that are still here. They don't understand why it's wrong to exploit you. and they're just feeding. They're just looking for anything and everything to feed off of, and they're looking and focusing on things that you're not, because typically when you experience that kind of loss, your instant reaction is going to be to heal. You go through your times when you wish that you could have made things better or different, but let's face it, when was the last time if you have a parent that you consider to be narcissistic, you think they was going to listen to you anyway? They're very stubborn. They wasn't going to listen to you. And it's funny how a lot of times when you have a narcissistic parent that passes away, all of a sudden people kind of want to ignore. So the enablers, they know full well what was going on, but they don't want to feel the guilt, in which they don't have to. It's your life. You don't want to carry that anger with you, but you don't want to let these people try to take advantage of you. Okay. Whether or not it's family, people in social media, for example, youtube.com, people that they just want to make you feel bad however they can, when in reality, death is God's decision, period. And the narcissistic parent, as they go through the etheric realm, they are understanding more than the people that are up here still walking around. They have a better understanding than they do. And what they'll do is they'll completely discount most of y'all that had narc parents at some point. I don't care if they were just narcissistic for 1 or 2 months. You probably are experiencing some level or degree of post-traumatic stress disorder. So you may always be treated that way by those specific people, that they don't really give a damn about what you're going through. Actually, they don't. All they care about is, again, but they don't understand how that situation actually hurt you and how you got to heal from it. That's just all it is to it. Don't let them guilt you, because they will. And they'll even try to blame you, demonize you, after you went through probably hell your whole life for some reason. Whatever it was that the narc parent was going through, because this is what narcissistic parents do. They take everything that they feel is wrong with them and they point it towards their child. That's exactly what they do. And so at that point, when the narc parent passes away, it's time for you to clear yourself, but you certainly don't pass that on to your children. You send that somewhere to the abyss, because well, regardless to how you feel about them passing, you can't let it destroy you, because that's typically, people, narcissistic people, that's why there's a lot of people that don't even want people to know their business, because what people will do is they will think that you are at a vulnerable position, and then they'll start throwing stuff at you. And see, then you also gotta realize that there are specific rituals that you should be doing. Okay, because it's a lot of people whose lives were potentially ruined because of that, because they will make you carry the shame that you were already given for things that you had no control over. You didn't have control over whether or not your daddy stayed married to your mama. You didn't have control over whether or not your mama, let herself go or decided that she didn't feel good about herself for whatever reason. And we know that a lot of times in the narc child relationship, the child has to be more so like a parent, which that's only if you are in contact. And that's literally only if they are very elderly. But you got somebody that's able-bodied walking around trying to sabotage their own child, then you've got to understand how debilitating that could be for the child, potentially. Because a lot of people that got a good mama or had a good mama that stuck by them through thick and thin, they don't know how it feels to have a narcissistic parent. And they wouldn't care if they did. You know, some of us loved our parents. Some of us wanted a better relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it is. But you got to make sure that you are solid afterwards, because a lot of people will be thinking that because first of all, my eyes were wide open to the world and how some people in this world act and how they are. And so people will try to do harm to you when they feel that you are vulnerable. And I felt that just recently. I was attacked spiritually like a few days ago. And I couldn't believe it. I said, wow, some people are just disgusting parasites. You just can't help it. Some people are very good people, and you got people in this world that are horrible. Okay. Don't allow those people to mess with you. This is when you want to have as close of a relationship with your ancestors and your spirit guides and your guides or your guardians. You want to get closer with them because they're going to protect you from all of those attacks. Literally, I have been getting attacked for 3 days straight and I have done nothing wrong. And I really don't care because my spirits will take care of you. It is what it is, hon. Whoever you are, you must really be angry about something. Maybe it's because you're no longer a benefactor or something. I have no idea what your problem is. The passive aggressiveness coming over here, thumbs and down my videos, it's just disgusting. It is. And something is wrong with you. It is, because whatever it is, like, instead of you thumbsing down, why don't you vocalize yourself in the chat? Why don't you let us know why you're over here at all? Because everybody that should be here is here. You shouldn't be here. Okay? You shouldn't. Because I've seen some narcissistic mothers and fathers try to ruin the lives of their own children and their grandchildren. And this is no joke. My spirits will strike you down. Yes, they will, but not in a way of death, in a way of sit down and have several seats. Your children are not pawns in a game. They are individuals who were born into this world with their own separate mind, bodies, and spirits. This is something that narcissistic people can't understand. You can't understand why that child pulled away from the mother, or why they, I guess, were defiant. I guess if you're 30 something years old and you move away, I guess you're being defiant. I didn't know that a 30 something year old woman could be defiant. So these people are disgusting. They probably sit at home and wear baby diapers for fun, adult diapers for fun. Very sick people. I'm just saying. It's disgusting. And if you participated in any kind of covert narcissistic operation, is it my fault why you're miserable right now? Because you seem to be pretty miserable to me. I mean, I'm just saying. If y'all go back and look at my last all week, you just having a fit in the chat room or on the thumbs down because you're still obsessed with things from my narcissistic mother. You're still obsessed with that. Go give it a rest. Go away. Okay? We working on you. Because nobody, this is the one thing that the narcissistic parent will do. Stigmatize the child, tell total lies. that is never going to be covered up by somebody passing away. The person still did it. They still did it. And the person has the right, the child has the right to move on with their life. And you need to move on with your life, because I can assure you that not only is the narc mother demonically possessed, or was, you are. And you don't realize that your demons are internal and they are eternal. So I can assure you that evil shit that you're doing, honey, is going to kill you. Am I lying to you right now, hon? You mad at me because it is what it is? I can't do nothing about that. You laughed at me and told me I was corny and soft because I was a good person. Because I never once left or abandoned my children. Not once. I have always been there for them, no matter where they are. So you're upset with that. And you're bringing personal stuff to YouTube, hon. Let me tell you something. I can bring it if you want. I can bring it, sweetie. Because everything I've been saying for the past 6 years has made sense, and you've been over there on some garbage. Because of the enablers, your narc parent is going to die. Do you understand me? Do you understand me that if a narcissistic mother came to me talking crazy like that, I would look at it. First of all, I would be able to read your child, and I could tell that you're batshit crazy. And I would say, look, I'm not going to do no work on your child. I'm going to ask you to do some work on yourself. So the enablers must be feeling guilty. You shouldn't have enabled that. You should have told the truth. But instead, because you wanted to exploit the situation, it's over now. Move on. Okay? Move on. Now, this is what I want to tell y'all. After the narcissistic parent has tried to ruin your reputation, they even try to, these people, I guess they're avenging, I guess, the enablers and the covert narcs of now they're trying to avenge your narc parent. And it's like, you need to go talk to them about that. Leave their children alone. It's so disgusting. Can you imagine? You know what? Every single day I thank God that my kids have me. Because when you think about the disgusting people in this world, I'm just going to keep it real with you. No, I want to go around and call you names. No, I want to tell you that you should have been aborted. No, I want to tell you that you need to die. Because these people, you're demonically possessed, hon. Whoever that is hitting the thumbs down, you are demonically possessed, and you'll probably end up dying a horrible death. That hatred is going to kill you. Somebody telling you that doesn't mean that they're doing death magic on you. If somebody tells you, look, you don't, that's not a good, that's a very self-destructive thing. Because if you have a parent that is a narc, the reason why they hate their kids is because they hate themselves. And you see a lot of people running around here, they real confused. They trying to turn mothers against their kids. They trying to tell mothers that they should be ashamed of their children because they were a single mom and they made bad choices. So a lot of y'all that's on YouTube, honey, you already lost. Yeah, and let me explain something else to you, hon. The reason why, and it's sad, but it's the truth. Let me tell you about these people. I think even the Bible says something about the masses are going to be misled, and you're misled, hon. You over there watching, they here on YouTube, you've got these very robotic and strange men on here, and you know that it's got something to do with them as well as other folk. Hon, you need to get a life. Go find your life before you lose it. That's not Jamila saying that. That's coming straight from spirit. You run around the internet carrying your hatred and talking crazy to women online. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. Because, see, you are possessed by the same demon. And I guess they going to take it to their grave. Let them take it to their grave. They are the masses and the sheeple being misled. See, this is the reason why we only have 7 or 10 watching, because the masses are not necessarily going to be over here. They're going to be off somewhere watching something totally ignorant and destructive. I don't know why these destructive ass people are over here. And who cares? Who cares? The point is that according to the numbers, this is exactly how it was prophesied. A lot of these people that go and they being led to these channels of these people with these stupid views of human beings, they get thousands and thousands of views. A lot of these people are being misled. Go on and continue to be misled. They hate the truth. The truth hurts them. And it ain't our fault. I don't know why you keep coming over here bugging the hell out of us. It's weird and strange to me. It's very weird and strange to me. Anyway, guys, this goes very, very deep, even into and I've been talking about this for years, being an insurance policy for the narc parent. People, and there's been people that have participated in child sacrifice before. Typically, child sacrifice is not what y'all think it is unless it's some kind of spiritual ritual. But it's all about the life insurance policy is what it's about. And when they know they not gonna get paid from that policy, they mad. They big mad. And see, that's something that you're gonna have to take to your grave or either release yourself from, hon. It ain't Jamila's fault. I told you. I warned you about this because for some reason y'all big mad and I'm like, well, I don't understand what your problem is. I don't even understand why these people even still watch me. It's so weird, but keep watching. Keep watching. I got a little meme for y'all too. I'm gonna use one of my favorite. Whoopi Goldberg has always been my favorite. Uh, in the movie Color Purple when she hold her fingers out, until you stop stalking my page, everything you do gonna fail. Cause it already is gonna fail. You're too focused on me 24/7. Like it just makes no sense. Anyway, I personally have talked about this for years, and for some reason, these people got really upset. They thought that the amount of money that you made at your business depended on the number of views that you got, and that's simply not the truth. So we got people with all these views, but not no money. So they're really upset about that. They don't have any money, wisdom, nothing. They don't, literally. See how views got you nowhere? It got you nowhere, especially when you weren't monetized. So, I understand you're gonna come and have a temper tantrum in the chat room. That's okay. That's okay. And you too scared to troll, but you're gonna be passive aggressive. That's fine too. If y'all notice, they have been bombarding and flooding into my channel the past week. Have y'all noticed this? As if I'm not supposed to be here. When you and yeah, I did have a death in my family. But did you take off of work the last time there was a death in your family? So these people were just like, "Ooh, good. Maybe she won't come on here," because when I come on here and I'm doing something spectacular that's my business, all of a sudden they feel threatened. Guys, I can't. But all of y'all that's feeling what I'm saying, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Okay. I appreciate that. But yeah, those are fake thumbs down, actually, by the way. It's somebody there. And can I give you some advice? These are signs of degeneration and being possessed by demons. Because these people, I never go to nobody's channels and hit the thumbs down ever. I never do it, y'all. So if somebody's thumbsing down your stuff, it ain't Jamila. Sorry. Okay, I am logged into 4 different YouTube channels of mine or on my phone. I don't go around thumbsing you down. So you're bringing me energy that doesn't belong to me, which is fine. We can still use it. It's fine with me. Okay. Don't let those people guilt you. You've been through enough. Take time to heal. Take time to heal yourself. Very often, if you are the black sheep of the family or if you are the outcast, more than likely your narc parent had it to where, everybody was on their side and sort of against you. So this is when you have to be smart about the situation, protect yourself spiritually, and make sure that you remove the narc parents hex off of you. Okay, you always want to do that because a lot of times there's a lot of times when your narc parent may have thought they loved you. They had a sick, twisted way of loving you. But some of them thought that that was love, but it is what it is. Take it and appreciate it. I know that there are other things that you can get from your bloodline other than love and money. Okay, you may have other things. So even if your parents didn't give you love or money, you can go out there and obtain that for yourself. Okay, and it's not that you wanted them to die. It's just that, first of all, the narcissistic demon, it's very dangerous because it's filled with hate and jealousy and regret and grudges, and it will kill the person. So, I think that because a lot of people love narcissistic people. I know that you know what I'm saying? It's not that you don't love them. It's just that, especially if they're trying to sabotage you, what are you supposed to do? Sit there and just give up your life and then and then every single place that you go where the narcissist mess it up, then all of a sudden it's something wrong with that place and not anything wrong with their behavior. So I've had narcs come on social media and do certain things. It's like, well, it's not social media's fault that you're misbehaving, okay? Because social media is a great thing. I know that I've had an extremely good day. I've been looking at a bunch of videos of people and so like I was saying, um, you know, you got to figure out the contract that is on you. And here's another thing, guys. People on YouTube, if you don't really know them, because I noticed that a lot of y'all will, I guess you could say that they are. I wouldn't go too far as to call them karmics so much all the time, guys. And the reason why is because a lot of these people simply have no connection with you. Okay. Now, and so just be careful with that. Be careful because I've been gang stalked, as you guys can see, 14 thumbs down. I'm still being gang stalked. I've been getting gang stalked for the past 6 years on YouTube, and probably longer than that, because I started on YouTube more than 10 years ago. And it's annoying because, again, narcs, you know what they'll do? Everything that you do, you either only got it from them. It could be general information, or because I see a lot of people saying the same thing that I've been saying for years. Do I go and say, oh, you're stealing my ideas? No, because I think that everybody should know about, this stuff, and everybody should be talking about it. And I think that the enablers that enabled that behavior for their own selfish gain, I think that's horrible, because I think that narcissistic people do have to be either taught, or maybe they need exorcisms, maybe they really do need some kind of psychiatric help, maybe so, because I think that it's crazy, just out of the blue. A lot of y'all will end up being abused by your own mother or your own father, and they telling you that you're ugly, they telling you that you're a loser, that you're worthless. These are all things that they feel about themselves that can be very difficult. You know, healing from that trauma and then knowing that you have a support system. And I'm talking about a spiritual support system. Okay. And I have been um fully supported by my spirits, the entire time, because it's perfectly fine for you to live your life and to live it wherever or however you want to live it, especially if you're doing fine and you're living a good life. So, sometimes Narc parents have the ability to put dust covered glasses over everybody's eyes when it comes to you. But you know what? When the dust clears, you're a diamond. And a lot of people do feel worthless because of how they were treated by their Narc parent. And it's okay. You were not a sacrifice. You were not meant to die. Your children were not meant to die. Oh, Thea Lightweaver, they're upset. I had talked about that earlier. There is somebody that, yeah, they're very, very, very upset, whoever it is, and I guess it's my fault why they're upset. I guess. How you doing, Thea? Wild Style Vlog says I am celebrating. What you celebrating? Okay, and I think we have a troll up in here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this person now. Yeah, we don't do trolls. Bye. You don't exist. Oh, it could also be because of what I said to the trolls the other day. They're very sensitive about their trolling. They think it's some kind of artwork that they're doing. They're just demonically possessed. That's good, sweetie. Wow, and you know what, Wild Style Vlogs, if that's how you felt when your narcissistic mom died, it's probably because that's how she felt. She may have felt free finally. You never know. Um, there is a moth up here. Oh shit. No, that's a lightning bug. There's a lightning bug in here, y'all. It's crawling on the TV. I thought it was a wasp. It's a lightning bug in here. Your narcissistic mom passed away when? When did she pass away? I'm so sorry to hear that. Hold on. Okay, it was years ago. Yeah. Well, you know what? Everybody should celebrate. They say that you're supposed to celebrate when people die, and oh, you say you're not sorry. Well, you know what, Wild Style Vlogs? Uh Come to me and so that I can talk to you though. Okay. Okay. Just whenever you get the money or whenever you get the chance. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I feel like there's still some wounds that you need to heal from. Yeah. Oh, y'all see this person? It's those weird people. Look, your time's almost up. Something will send you back crying, go back to Africa. Oh, okay. Told y'all we got some racists over here. They're upset about something. I guess racism is not paying the bills. I guess I told you racism was not worth anything these days. What did I tell you? Like you're gonna end up homeless with the racism shit. I'm sorry. They mad at me. The racists are mad at me. It's in the video description box. My email address is in the video description box. Yeah. So yeah, you can tell that they are on the prowl. They're bottom feeding again. You can tell. I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. We're ignoring them. at this point. But yeah, they really want some attention, don't they? They lost. Some people are like lost souls. You just got to ignore them. I don't let them upset me. But I will tell you that some people are actually trying to feed off of the situation, and it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? A person is already dealing with enough if they lose their parent. You're right there. Yeah, the eclipse is bringing out psychopathic energy. I've been feeling it too past couple of days. And, they're upset because I won't talk about what they want me to talk about. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I don't let stuff like that bother me. I never let stuff like that bother me, though. It's some people, they will fall under a spell if a person calls them a Nigger. Oh my God, they will just go nuts. That's definitely a lightning bug in here, y'all. He just lit up his little tail. I got a lightning bug in here. I don't know what these people are tripping off of, but go to your own channel. Get off of my channel. I don't have nothing to do with your race war. Go away. Go away. We're talking about stuff that people can actually use in life. We can't use none of that you're talking about. Okay, I'm sorry. I told you that being a racist didn't pay very well. I told you that. So stop. Okay. That's why they abolished it because people weren't doing well. Okay. Hello. Yeah, we have love for everybody over here. Okay. Black, white, orange, purple, green, we're pretty universal over here. So get out of here with that. I didn't know that if that's who that is, these people that are, it's like, oh God, really? But I doubt it very seriously because it's been weirdness for the past couple of days. Um, Another thing is that you don't necessarily have to talk about it until you're ready. And if ever, you can actually set up an ancestor altar for for your parent too. There's nothing wrong with doing that as well. Because at the end of the day, they are still your parent and they did bring you into the world. You know what I'm saying? And so that is something uh to be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I certainly appreciate that. That's just like my whole thoughts about Jesus. And I've actually had people say that I was weak because I mentioned Jesus, and it's like, well, Jesus did die for my sins. And being a witch, I guess that's a sin. So, of course I would have respect. Because, Jesus, in my opinion, was a miracle worker, a healer, and I think it was witchcraft personally. But they yeah. Mm, yeah. I know it's hard to forgive, but you know what? It ain't even just about forgiveness. I think that it's all about making peace with it and taking what you can use from the situation. Take what you can use, the lessons and the things that you learn. Don't ever play victim and say, oh, that, because some people become very lost in that. They become very lost if they lose their mother. They become lost, and sometimes it's hard to bring them back because it's almost like this self-destructive button that the parent always would push within the child. And and so we love saving the children of the narcs. They, I guess they call you the children of the corn. I don't know. Y'all are valuable too. Even if you made mistakes, you know what I'm saying, you're still valuable too. And at the end of the day, because a lot of people felt like their parents checked out years ago, like it was like they wasn't even there anymore. And so, a lot of times you have to connect to those the divine spirits, the divine mother, the divine father. And they getting ready to make love. The sun, the moon is getting ready to pass over the sun. That's when the moon does like a little, it does like it goes in between the earth and the sun. And so this is about to happen. And so it'll bring good things. But make sure that you are taking the proper steps. Okay, as far as with protection with that. And then don't look directly at it either. No, it ain't even. If you feel hatred, I can definitely understand why, but you can pick up your life, you can pick up all of the pieces, because feeling like your mom doesn't love you is shattering, but you can pick up those pieces and put them back together. You can even weld them back together. You can pick up those pieces and you can move forward and you can live as though not as though it never happened, but you don't have to torture yourself over it. You know what I'm saying? This freaking lightning bug, I need to put him in a jar. That's typically what people will do with lightning bugs, even though they say it's cool. But you can like do little access holes at the top. We used to do that, catch lightning bugs and put them in a jar, and they would light up all night. I think that one might be attracted to these little lamps too. So anyway, don't let anybody make you feel guilty. Okay, sweetie, don't let nobody make you feel guilty. If you are feeling feelings of guilt, go to God or either your spirit guides. Now, if you start feeling an overwhelming feeling of guilt to where you don't care about your life, or to where you're not identifying outside of that Narc parent, then you may want to definitely get some stuff removed from you, because honestly, all of the people that secretly hated you, secretly hated your mother, they like for you to die too. Because there's a stigmata that's put on you. It's and not by everybody, not by everybody, because you'll notice that your relationships with people will start to heal, but then you just want to be careful of those energies that are coming towards you. And that's why we've been deflecting a lot of those energies with our litha ritual we did an espit today with crystals and water. So I hope everybody in the circle was able to eat dinner, maybe have you a glass of wine and relax, and maybe take you a bubble bath or Epsom salt bath or something. I do highly recommend for those of you in the circle to take a salt bath. Yes. Um, in particular, going close to it's a curse, and some Narc parents curse their kids. They do. It happens. And what do? Do you lay down and die like a sick dog? No, you get up and you fight it. And if you were battling, spiritually, or if you were doing like how there may be that internal conflict between you and your mother, don't ever feel guilty or make yourself feel like you killed them somehow because of what you did. No, you didn't. You were defending yourself. God ain't gonna never tell no child to sit up there and let the mother or the father just damn near kill them. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen it. You can look around YouTube, and you can go back and look at a lot of my vlogs that I did, but for me, I feel that in terms of dealing with that, because they create this hatred towards you. They do, and everybody treats you like you're just a thing, like you don't even, you know what I'm saying? It's so sad. If those people insist on treating you like that, just ignore them and move on. That's all you can do. If you want to live within the narcs paranoia, or whatever it is that they were trying to create so that they could isolate their child, their grown child, then do it. But you, as the person, you're not a victim. You survived it. And then also, it's time for you to heal. Because many of us, that if we suffered any kind of narcissistic abuse from our parents, you're going to have symptoms of PTSD and anxiety. You're going to have that because, you, and in my opinion, when PTSD comes up, especially if it's tied in with a past life regression, because a lot of y'all can have karmic mothers from a past life, you have to let it release, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why we don't really believe in things like medications and stuff like that. I know I was working with a couple of different herbs earlier today, uh the herbs that I have here right now, but there are a lot of herbs that you can start to heal yourself with. One of them is valerian root, and then motherwort is really good. Also, mugwort is excellent for clearing out negative subconscious blockages and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because those people will make you feel like, here's the whole thing about being raised in abuse, or either being abused, period. They'll make you and convince you that you deserved the abuse. You know what I'm saying? Somehow. And when you actually didn't. hmm Yeah, I've been looking at a few videos about people that were getting off of some of those psychotropic, antidepressants and stuff like that, and how it's hell to get off, and they have to like literally wean themselves off. Like, yeah, yeah. And so you don't have to, like, I know that a lot of people possibly feel very awkward in that situation. I would be myself, be confident, be loving, don't be afraid to express yourself, because I know that, especially if you grew up like that and you grew up in an environment where your opinion, your thoughts never mattered, your ideas never mattered, what you wanted never mattered. It didn't. And you should have been validated. You should have had that validation to where if you had ideas, your parent would say, "Oh, look at that. I see that you did that." Instead, they may not have wanted to be bothered. They may have had, it was a demon sitting on their shoulders, and who'd have thunk it? And they went to church every Sunday, and the demon just got stronger. It never, helped the situation. But, it's not a good thing for, it's not a good feeling for a narcissistic parent to pass away while you're no contact or at odds with them. I think that that is one of the most difficult things about it. hmm Yeah, it's like you don't matter when, your parents, they should have been the one person that you could always depend on and go to for everything that you needed, at least as a child. But, if you don't have that as a child, I understand how that feels. What's confusing is when it's the love is sort of blinking on and off for years, to where it's like, I love you, and then oh well, I decided, when I met my new friends, that you were an embarrassment to me because I had you out of wedlock when I was very young. And that's actually happened, and a lot of you guys feel shunned, you feel shut out. I personally feel that you can create your own earth here on this earth, and that's what you're supposed to do. And nobody has the right to stop you from doing that. If when you can feel your backbone, you'd be surprised. When you can feel that, when you can feel that that will to get through that situation and not let it destroy you, or to let the covert narcs, use it to destroy you in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And they may not know any better. I think that we've been wasting way too much time being angry, but I can't really say that because of where I'm at. I surpassed a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to. Or I guess I was supposed to be the loser that was, not as good as, a lot of times, because if your mother is narcissistic, she's definitely just competing with you. And that was not supposed to happen. That was a glitch, a complete glitch. Okay. Uh Thank you, Wild Style Blogs. But you'll get through it. You'll get through it. And just make sure that if you feel that you're not getting through it, okay, if you feel like you're not getting through it, then you may have some spirits that may have gotten put on you. And see, that's why I was telling y'all, whenever somebody does pass away, you have to light those white candles. Those white candles will help to clear and purify the situation, because it is very, very demonic, especially if you've got a narc parent competing with you sexually and things like that. Nobody wants to be, I'm sorry, I would never want to be compared to my mother sexually. And I would never compare myself to my children sexually. So there's a huge perversion of what, and just think of it like this is how a lot of people think of it. Even though there's the cool moms out there, there's, because I consider myself to be a cool mom, I'm sorry, and but I'm a good mom because I teach my kids at the same time. But there are some kids that grow up, what was really interesting was hearing the story of Tom Arnold and his family and his sister being like the meth queen. I didn't even know anything about that. It came out years ago. But they were saying how their mother was like a friend instead of like an actual mother. You know what I'm saying? And so it's sort of the same thing. The only difference is that the narcissist is more like, an a narc parent that's not a parent can sometimes be more like an enemy or like a frenemy. I don't want to say enemy, but frenemy. Because, and do I think it has something to do with the dark goddess aspect? Not really. I think it's a mistake. I think it's a total mistake. I think that if you are a narc parent, truly come to grips with your kids. Seriously. And stop trying to think, oh, well, 20 years ago, because like I said, when I dropped out of high school, my parents were extremely disappointed in me. They were extremely disappointed. I dropped out to get a job. And I didn't have any children either. I didn't have my first child until I was in my mid 20s. But because there was necessities that I needed, and I didn't feel that I was getting those necessities. So that's why I dropped out as soon as I was old enough, because I wasn't going to be going to school, didn't barely have pads to wear, bleeding all over my desk. So, so it doesn't matter if they, hopefully one day they'll understand. But at the end of the day, you know, for people to guilt you as if you're responsible, and you're not responsible for, what happened to them. And that demon would love to take everybody in your family out. That demon would love for you to get so depressed and start having identity problems and thinking that you just, no, you're not. You're different. And even though there are some narcissistic people that had narc parents that grew up to be narcissistic, and everybody has a little bit of narcissism in them, but I'd say that that's a bit extreme when you create an environment between you and your child that is so toxic that they need to get away from you, and they just feel like you want them to fail at life. So when people see that kind of, I don't want to call it stupidity, but that's what it is. When people see that kind of ignorance, they flock to it. They want to take advantage. Oh, I want your kids. I want your grandkids. And, you got somebody like me that's standing up there firmly. I'm like a rock. What are you talking about? Not these children. So that's what that demon wants. And when it knows that it can't get to you or get you, then it is a bloodline thing. A lot of y'all that are being gang stalked or, demonically attacked, it does have something to do with your bloodline. Does it have anything to do with racism? No, I think racism is piggybacking off of that. No, no, it has nothing to do with racism. No, it doesn't. It's all about, now it may be, because I feel that at this point, there's too much education and, common law and common sense at these days. But a lot of people, I don't know what it was that we were going towards, but for you to be a mother or a father and say, oh, well, I don't want those kids anyway, and screw that. I don't agree with that. But there are plenty of kids that grew up without their parents completely. They got gave up for adoption and they came out just fine. However, you'll even find problems within adoptive parents depending on your bloodline and what was connected to your mother at the time she was pregnant with you. So killing the baby or giving away the baby is not going to kill the baby's spirit. As a parent, you're not just having sex and a baby is coming out. Yeah, that's what it seems like, but you are creating a soul or helping at least create it. I personally believe that the soul has to originate in the woman's uterus. It has to. So I don't think that any of our body parts are just parts. I think that they are all connected to the divine, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, and your uterus and your penis, so all of us are connected to God in some kind of way. But I do believe that women are different in an aspect to where a soul is created in their womb, which is a big deal. That's why women get very tired and fatigued when they're pregnant, because you are creating another life. Okay. Well, that you can get rid of, that you can reverse those curses, and that you can uh think of it as, y'all know that movie, The Labyrinth, and you remember how the little girl didn't want to babysit her little brother, and she was making wishes to the Goblin King, and the Goblin King really came and took her little brother. And so the things that they said that they shouldn't have said, there was something listening to them, and something wanted to, get in there, and if a demon can see a weakness, it's going to act on it. That's just the way that demonic spirits or bad spirits can work. So that's why when you you see these movies and stuff, and people that, they'll move and they'll get a new house, but then the house is haunted and they're still feeling those feelings and stuff, because you haven't really cleared those things, and there are actual contracts. So the little girl in the labyrinth, when the Goblin King showed up, he said, well, it was a contract. You said a spell, and spells can turn into contracts. Sometimes it depends. If you are, unfortunate, the unfortunate person that, and it doesn't mean that you're just, oh, you're just unfortunate. You're just, no. But if you find yourself in that situation, I don't want to use words like unfortunate. If you are in that situation, there is help for you, because I created the help for myself, and I've helped a lot of people. So that's why I'm here talking about this right now. Okay. And so if you guys ever need a ear to just listen, or if you are interested, because there are some of y'all that there's a lot of things that you want to do, but you're afraid to do it and you wonder why. These are gifts that you may have had your whole life and you can't use them because they've been binded. And literally you can't see it, but it's a chain. Okay, literally. What you doing? Mommy's still live. I'm about to get off though. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure that you focus on you. Focus on you and what you feel that you have to do to heal yourself and to deal with the situation. Okay. Now, if there was limitations and blockages, those can be removed. I am of an opinion that we have to remove them spiritually, because a lot of people just don't realize how powerful words can be, and how powerful words turn into spells, and the spells that people can try to put on you. Okay. And so if you had like, for example, if you had a narcissistic abusive mother that your whole life she probably told you to your face that you was a piece of crap and that you wasn't gonna never amount to shit, or maybe she was saying that behind your back. And so you've got years and years of these hexes and curses to remove from yourself. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it takes years and years, but the longer you wait, and so for a lot of us, especially when it came to the whole competitive nature of family, and somebody wants to have the biggest TV, they want to have the best, they want to outdo everybody. Then if you're having financial difficulty, then you can just about guess where a lot of those bindings came from. And when you remove those bindings, it's not like you're saying, oh, like you're accepting defeat. No, you're removing an actual hex. And a lot of them involve health problems, high blood pressure, cancer. Uh, they involve health problems. Okay. And, so it's not just money, it's health. Okay. Your health is tied in. Your physical health is tied into your mental health, and your mental health definitely is tied into your prosperity and your money. And so instead of demonizing money, because we got people out there that will demonize money, well, you might as well demonize energy, because that's what money is, it's energy. So you can actually lift those you can get those curses off of you. Okay. And don't, like I said, don't pay attention to the thumbs up and the thumbs down. Those are the pocket watchers. And so they are obsessed with, I don't know, but y'all know where to reach me. Okay. All of my stuff is below. We do have the new moon that is coming up. If you guys want to get on my altar, around that time you can. And then also join my Litha circle. Okay. Because the ancestors will help you with all of it. But they have to be venerated. So a lot of people, they'll think, oh, it's just about lighting a candle, and it's not. Okay. So it's really important. The best time to venerate the ancestors is during the Sabbats. Okay. It is. And, you can venerate them anytime that you want, but Sabbath schedule is pretty thorough for that. And, especially when you got other stuff to work on in between that too. So, okay. I don't know why health and wealth triggers these people so much. It's probably because you know what? I'm thinking that it's people that thought that they could control what you got or what you get, and they're upset because obviously, their temper tantrums throughout social media didn't work. Because a lot of times the divine mother will look at you and say, I'm not going to move that spell. So a lot of people that ran around here wanting to destroy people's lives, and they're spoiled, and since they couldn't do it, now they're upset. But at the end of the day, we know we know what it do, and we know what's up with that. Okay. Another good movie, I know that this is kind of, I don't know, I guess this movie is kind of ghetto, but Baby Boy, my favorite aspect of that movie was Baby Boy's mother, because she had her garden and everything, and she was just so cool. I really did like that because, I'm a black woman and I like to garden, you know what I'm saying? I like plants, I like nature. So, which we shouldn't even have to say that, I just think that some people, they're going along with a program. It seems like some of these people are possessed by 1,000-year-old spirits that, just hate, 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 hate. But, rest on love. That's what is going to be the whole thing, is your self-love as well as your love for your children. Your children are your future. Your children are the future. So you should give them the best start of life possible. Okay. But a narc parent is going to throw out a lot of obstacles out there, and you'll be able to overcome all of that. Okay. And it can be really scary. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are 2 paychecks away from homelessness. That can be very scary. And it'll make you, that's when people start showing their fangs. So I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it when you don't have time for that. You don't have time to be going through all that childishness and stuff when you've got little ones, or not even little ones yourself, and there's some people, they want to take your birthright. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And your children are your birthright. They are. It's not to say that you have a right to control them or dominate them or try to make decisions for them the rest of their life. But, children are a blessing. And it's sad that narcissistic parents, either they didn't know that or they lost sight of that. Just because somebody got mad, I don't think that people should allow arguments to go on that long. And least of all with your children. The narcissistic parent just needs to sort of relent. Let the child do what they want to do. They grown anyway. So, and that's just, it is what it is, or either just cut off contact, and you know, which is pretty sad right there. But, so anyway, I'm always here for y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Peace and love to all of you guys. And I will see y'all later. Okay. Don't let these people bother you, because it's funny how if they think you're going through something, they'll try to attack you. And it's like, God only puts on us what we can handle, don't he? Yeah. So, that's having a firm belief in God, because he's there. God is there. Trust me. Or if you want to say goddess, you know what I'm saying? Some people feel that God is a woman. Some people feel like it's a man. Some people feel like it's, God is a mixture or a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? So, however way you see it, whatever your connection is with the Most High, that's where you want to stick to that, because, and then that could be why you chose your parents, because there may have been a spiritual path that you're meant to take. And trust me, there's a lot of people out there that need healing. They do. They need healing, because it hurts so bad. It hurts them a lot, especially if their inner child is not healed. And I actually specialize in inner child healing. So if you guys need me, I'm always here. Okay. Love and light to all of you guys. And I will see y'all later. Okay. All right. Bye bye.